My name is Steve, and I've always yearned for the mines, and I've always taken a liking to crafting. Introducing mine and then craft.
Hi, I'm Mine.
Hi, Miner. I'm Craft.
I'm not a miner.
These are
I'm
some
a
miners I
mine.
found down the road.
A mine!
Oh, boy.
Oh, wait, sorry, wrong fandom.
Well, guys, are you ready to break the seal on this cave and enter into what is the best/worst blockbuster of the decade, possibly?
Oh, no.
It's gonna be fantastic!
No,
Yeah.
no.
So we went and saw the Minecraft movie in theaters, and that was a mistake.
Oh, it was fantastic, dude. You people out there are completely fucking mental. I'd like you to understand.
You know what? Before we get into the movie, we should 100% talk about the reaction to it. Because the
Okay.
fucking theaters... Dude, did you hear about the,
The-
group of high school kids that snuck in an actual
An actual live chicken,
Yeah.
and then one got on top of the shoulders of the other, and they started just waving it around, going like,
Have you seen that now they have pre-movie, warning cards for, this is not a PvP
rowdy
zone.
teenagers.
Yes, Chicken Jockey is in this movie. That doesn't mean he can turn the
I
theater
saw
into
that
a
sign,
PvP
and it goes like,
zone.
yes, Chicken Jockey is epic, but you don't need to throw your popcorn around about it.
There's a clip going around where a DJ goes in wearing a Minecraft zombie head, and when Chicken Jockey comes up, he goes up onto stage with a Walkman-style radio, and Deadass sets off a laser show and just drops the fucking beat.
I haven't seen that one. That one goes hard as fuck.
That
That's got it. I
sounds
gotta look at it
amazing.
later.
But no, y'all can behave, and now they gotta have warnings.
I must say, the viewing we went to was rather tame in comparison to some of the stuff,
Yes.
the vile actions people have taken
Well,
online.
the thing
we
is,
had 29 separate occasions of applause. 29. We counted in theaters.
I mean,
29 instances where the movie was interrupted because people were like, he said the word, ah!
to be fair, our theater was at least a little riotous. My girlfriend did get a popcorn shower she didn't sign up for.
She did?
Yeah.
I didn't
did?
even notice.
Yeah,
was
the
it
peop-
during Chicken Jockey?
You were
It
over on
was,
the
yeah.
right.
The people behind us threw a lot of popcorn, and it missed you guys completely, but it got me, and it really got my girlfriend.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry
I
to hear
feel
that. I
bad
didn't
for
know.
that now. I feel bad for
It's
her.
fine.
We never even heard about it, after we got dinner together. Hey, damn.
She brought it up on the ride to dinner, but we split up in the parking lot.
That's fair.
So, without further ado, let's begin with the review of the Minecraft movie.
So, I will say this. I missed the first about 90 seconds of the film due to traffic and poor planning on my part. And I will say,
You missed Child Steve.
I looked up that clip just so I'd have full context, because I thought I missed something really integral and really important.
Not
But
really.
no,
you missed
didn't.
a
The
bit.
whole context is Jack Black, since a child, yearned for the mines.
It's just you missed the funny
he
bit.
yearned for the
Lamau.
mines.
I don't get
He
it.
sh- He showed.
Why?
Oh,
I don't
by
know,
the way,
he's like average Elon Musk employee.
Is he autistic?
No.
Maybe.
It's just my thing is I want to be an 1800s prospector.
I would like to point
Okay,
out.
in all fairness,
before-
if he
before
is
we go-
autistic, that makes a lot of sense.
Before we go any further, spoilers, if
Oh.
that is important to you.
Yeah, this is
We're
a
going-
Minecraft movie review.
We're going through the entire movie,
We're
plot
going to
points
talk
and
about the
plot holes
ending.
and all.
Where
So-
Steve has sex with the elder piglin, Molgosha.
Though I will say, as far as spoiling the movie goes, the movie is probably the biggest example of a spoiled idea that I can even think of. If you've ever seen a movie before, you've basically spoiled this movie.
Yeah.
It makes
it's
milk
pretty-
that's been sitting out for a week look fresh and drinkable in comparison.
The closest thing this movie gets to a fresh idea is reusing the same joke 3 times in a row.
I can't believe they pulled that. Look, okay. We'll talk about that. Let's make
I-
our way through the introduction.
That's the closest thing it got to a fresh idea.
Okay,
There's nothing
so-
original about the film.
Let's begin at the beginning with the exposition Steve.
He yearned for the
So
mines.
he yearned for the mines. It was just him as a kid, and he was facing off against this prospector, this ugly-looking, grim-faced miner. Not an
Mhm.
actual kid, but like an actual profession prospector.
We all knew what you were talking about.
Bro, it
You
was
didn't need
just
to
this like
specify.
old fucking obese dude and a dirty wife beater
I
with
will
a pickaxe
say-
going. Arr,
I will
arr."
say, I'm gonna have an ongoing list
Clash
of plot
Royale
holes I
emote.
notice while we're just talking about the plot of the movie. So plot hole number 1: why doesn't the prospector go to the Minecraft overworld?
Bro's
Was
got
he?
cataracts and he can't see the portal.
What if he was Proto Steve and he was protecting the
Did
cube?
Steve fight Herobrine in the first 90 seconds?
I
Herobrine
wish.
did. The prospector did disappear after he went back and fought him.
Oh yeah, that's something we need to bring up. Herobrine never fucking appeared.
They're saving it for the second or third movie.
It makes me sad. Anyways,
Anyway,
Sorry.
continuing on.
Listen, a huge part of what I hated of the movie was look at that thing you recognize. Don't you love that thing you recognize? Like,
yeah, and
I'm
then there's
kind
like
of
no
glad-
backing
I'm kind of glad Herobrine didn't show up in the movie
because they would have made a joke out of it.
The movie's a joke. Like, the less things anyone has ever cared about that are in the movie, the
Jason
better.
Momoa and Jack Black having hot gay man sex.
Like, I like Jack Black a lot as an actor and an entertainer, and a lot of his movies really have, like, heart, and he's very good at just, like, overacting and creating this, like, very fun personality that he just brings to every movie he's been in. But, like, oh, man, this was
Yeah.
such a Jack Black is playing Jack Black film. I kind of hated it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
lava chicken. Steve's lava chicken, yes, tasty as hell. It's kind of a bop for all 15 seconds that it played.
Yeah. Anyway.
They refer to like the Minecraft world as the outer world.
The overworld.
The overworld, because that's technically
Oh, I
what
must
it
have
was.
autocorrected in my notes.
That was technically what it was called. Now, I do have in my notes here, child laborer meets feral miner.
I don't know if I call him feral. Honestly, I look like that
He
after a
looked
12-hour
feral.
shift.
He wasn't
So-
played by Will Ferrell.
He's just
though.
overworked. Everyone looks like that after
Oh,
that.
and are we going to talk about the thingies?
What fucking thingies? There's a lot of thingies,
It
dude.
was
You're
the
a thingy.
cubes, but he referred to them as the thingies.
Oh, the cube that the
Yeah, the cube and
Tesseract inserts
The weird
into to
tesseract
make
with a
the
scotch
equivalent
cup
of a
around.
fucking cubicle snow globe.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's part of the movie. I don't understand.
It's a MacGuffin. It's
MacGuffins are only good in stories if you have an actual reason for the MacGuffin to
Okay,
fucking exist.
But the thing is,
Dude,
they don't have
missed-
a reason.
Okay, they missed a perfect opportunity for it to actually make sense. Why didn't they just make it like a miniature beacon?
that could have done something.
Versus something that's not even in the game.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, don't they?
it turns into a beacon.
It turns into a so maybe it's like the Nether star encased in like some. Okay, why wasn't it just a Nether star?
Why does the Nether Star transport you between the Minecraft
it-
world and the real world?
It doesn't. But at least it would have been kind of cool
Quick
if they
question, does
just
anyone-
actively explained it was a Nether star.
Does
because-
anyone remember what the portal was from the real world to the overworld? Was that obsidian as well?
No, that's
What was it
actually my
made of?
next note. Aether portal.
yeah.
It's
it-
literally it's like glowstone and then a blue center.
Was it a glowstone portal?
I don't know if specifically it was glowstone, but it was definitely not obsidian.
I remember it looking like cobblestone.
I thought it looked like cobblestone as well.
But it's blue on the inside.
Yeah. Aether Portal confirmed.
I just
Yes.
put down Aether portal.
that.
But,
I
I
have a
mean,
saved
yeah.
world where I have a glowstone portal, and I'm very sad about that.
One
We
day,
all had that moment, didn't we?
one
Yeah.
day we'll have that aether portal.
Listen, they've added so much stupid bullshit to Minecraft. I don't even care if they.
The
make
Aether
it
exists
canon.
as a mod, but
Well,
yeah.
yes.
cheering for the funny word, we kind of already went over that.
Which
Chicken
which
Jackie, the Nether, flint and steel, water bucket release, coming in hot, full. Wait, no, it goes diamond armor, full set, ender pearl. Like literally, it's just buzzwords of
Well,
random
okay.
items in game or like small phrases that.
Okay,
and then people go.
so I feel like there is a reason why they did that, more than just using catchwords. For the majority of adults that were watching this movie with their kids that know what these are, to the adults that haven't played the games or know what the hell they're looking at,
Me after going water
them
bucket
them
release
helping
and then nutting in the
explain
popcorn
things
bucket.
like that, like if okay, say you never played Minecraft and you were looking at an Ender Portal or Ender Pearl, would you know what it is?
There's better ways to...
There is better ways, yes, but
That's an ender pearl.
This movie took fucking 11 years to write.
They
Okay,
love crushing
I
loaves.
don't accept
They
there are
love
better ways to
crushing
do it. This
loaves.
is the way we got stuck with. Like, I don't accept that excuse. It's lazy writing. It's very, very lazy writing.
oh yeah, so the thingies were actually just called the Orb of Dominance.
That's a lame
yeah.
fucking name.
Oh, did you see that the movie was produced by Momoa? Jason Momoa is credited with
course.
production.
Why do I have child abuse on here? Oh, because
I also have
when they
child
were
labor.
like beating up the piglins and the Nether.
Oh. Where she stabs the
Yeah.
one.
I'm pretty sure I just watched that like piglin get stabbed and go, oh, child abuse.
Okay. So, people need to be able to follow along, right?
Yeah.
We're just kind of saying buzzwords, which is what the movie does, but let's put a little more effort than the writers did, okay?
Okay.
Right.
So, let's go to the timeline, all right? The timeline right now is essentially Steve is like, "Hey, I'm obsessed with digging holes in the ground for valuable minerals for literally no reason."
Well, he yearned for the mines.
And then there's a montage of him going to the mines after failing his career as a doorknob salesman, right?
Yeah. He was some sort of salesman. I don't remember.
The like introduction scene is absolutely ridiculous. He takes his like packed lunch and
No, it's a frozen.
It's a frozen
lunch.
TV dinner, and he mushes it into this disgusting cube, and he's got like shit all over his hands. And he goes,
mine.
But he hasn't even been to like the overworld. Why would he be shaping things into a cube shape?
Most of the things that happen in the quote-unquote real world in the Minecraft movie don't actually check out with what the real world's like at all or make any sense.
Are we talking
Like-
about the potato factory?
I actually had written in my notes, what decade is this? Because everybody is acting like it's the fucking 80s,
But they have
Yeah.
like
but they have smartphones.
Smartphones.
It's like, huh?
It's hard to identify, dude.
Like, they make... spoilers, I guess, but at the end of the movie, they make a hit arcade game. How do you get a hit arcade game in current
Nowadays.
year?
Impossible.
You don't.
But they
Like-
made one.
And
The-
it worked.
The equivalent nowadays
'Cause
is
fuck
like
you.
doing a hit indie game on Steam.
Yeah, but that's not what they did.
I know, I get you.
It's a dead ass arcade. It takes quarters. It's a beat 'em up. Like, how? Anyway, so timeline. Got to have a timeline. All right, let's catch up to where we were talking. Okay.
So
So Steve has this stupid montage
Yep.
where the real world doesn't make sense. He fails his fucking career, and he goes and duels a prospector to the death for a glowing cube that the prospector could have totally used to get into the overworld, but doesn't. So Steve uses the Tesseract to get into the overworld. He makes best friends with a dog. He makes a bunch of things.
Dennis.
Or
Dennis.
maybe the villagers did. It's very unclear how much of the overworld he built and how much the overworld the villagers built. Because, like,
I have a feeling that
Steve's
the
lava
village...
chicken is his lava chicken stand, obviously, but it's being manned by a villager, and most of the villagers seem to live in a place that's ambiguously created by either the villagers or Steve.
I have a feeling that
Yeah, it's either loose.
it came across as something that I've done in a video game or in Minecraft where I will find a village and then like upgrade it, make it my own, and then like I have become now your mayor. Applaud at my supreme intellect.
Maybe, but the movie doesn't really play it off like that. How it felt to me is like, oh, this villager has a random shack, I guess, and they just make lava chicken, and then Steve claims that it's his own.
I don't think
But
that-
it's in song form, so it's like maybe he's just...
I think he came
it's
across the
kind
village
of written
and
terribly.
added the lava chicken.
Steve's lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as hell.
Ooh, mamacita, now you're ringing the bell.
I can't.
I got that video somewhere on my phone.
I can't, in good conscience, say that it's worth the amount of thought we're putting into it.
Absolutely not.
But it cuts to overworld montage where Steve befriends a
Learns.
wolf, learns to mine
Dennis.
and to craft. He says the funny line. They all clapped. He Flint and steals to the Nether, says it's a mistake, gets kidnapped. His dog is ransomed, and his dog takes it to the overworld.
Well, okay, that introduction was stupid also because, like, literally he spends, like, 30 seconds talking to Dennis, handing off the Orb of Dominance, and being like, you be a good boy, all right? You take this home and don't forget about me. Bro could have ran through the portal with his dog instead of yapping. But then they just grab him,
Yeah.
and then the dog gets away. Like,
That's plot hole number 2.
Stupid.
We're gonna keep a plot hole counter. We're at plot hole number 1. The prospector could totally have been in Minecraft, but was in the real world for some reason.
Mhm.
Plot hole number 2.
Steve could have just escaped.
and Dennis could have both just escaped.
Next plot hole. How the hell did Dennis know where Steve's house was?
Yes, that's actually a note I also had. How the
the
fuck
the
does...
plot hole after that?
like-
the plot hole after that. It spawns in the fucking instruction manual. The note Steve left. He didn't
Legitimately.
have any time or way to write
we don't
that note.
see Dennis take a note with him.
There's physically
Also,
no way that note could have existed.
How the fuck does Dennis know what an address is? Literally, Steve lists
Listen,
off an address,
I'm
and the dog
willing
goes
to-
orf orf, and then runs, and then makes it.
I'm willing to suspend my disbelief that Dennis is just a smart boy, but like, Dennis, we're at 4 plot holes.
How did
And
Dennis
we
get
haven't
in the
even
house?
made it to the splash screen yet.
We're at 4 plot holes. There's not even a title card.
How the fuck does Dennis
Oh,
even get in the
man.
house?
5 plot holes.
He
mean, I guess he
lockpicks
could-
it, obviously.
Have you seen those videos of those like giant pit bulls and like the owners will have a giant like glass door and like some Amazon delivery driver will pull up to the window and like drop off a package carefully and the dog with such vehement force will smash their body into the glass door and shatter and just stand there like,
Aren't you gonna pet me? Where
and
are you going?
They don't ever like threaten them. They just stand there after shattering a door, and the drivers usually run off in fear.
That's the Minecraft movie.
That's how the Minecraft movie makes me feel. The door is my brain.
Okay, so just to keep everyone on the up and up, all right? So,
On Skibbity.
timeline, right? We have
Yep,
the opening sequence.
We got to the
The
got
dog-
to the title scene.
The dog drops the important MacGuffin stone magically in Steve's house with an instruction manual Steve didn't have time to write from being ransomed in the Nether.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then it just kind of
Then it just cuts to the introduction of the 4 main characters. We have Jason Momoa, who, despite being a bodybuilder,
The Garbage Man.
is known as the Garbage Man because
I forget why he's called the Garbage Man.
he
I just know-
invented a combo in a competitive 2-player
Yeah, it was like Mortal
beat 'em up
Kombat,
game.
basically.
No, it's more like the
The
Ninja Turtles game.
Oh, right.
It's a beat 'em up. It's not a fighting game. It's a beat 'em up. There's one person. It's PVE. Well, there's 2 people actually, and he develops he develops a gameplay strategy where he plays both characters and synchronizes them to dump people in the garbage, and he gets the moniker the Garbage Man.
because he
Oh.
won like the 1986 championship.
Now he's like a washed up loser. And
Who
he's,
owns a game store?
yeah,
Yeah.
a failing game store at that. He's getting evicted.
Yeah, he got evicted from the game store.
He tries to buy an Atari whatever.
2600. Well,
No. An Atari Stratus or some shit.
I don't
think-
remember.
The thing doesn't exist.
Yes.
I found out via one of several reviews for this movie I watched that like apparently the box and the like Atari game system he
Were
tries to
fake.
auction war, like it was scheduled to come out, but it never came out because the game industry was crashing at that time.
Huh.
So the Atari Stratus is, I think, what it was, never actually came out. So there's no way there could have been a box of it. But It's fine. Minecraft exists here. We're living in an alternate timeline where apparently games were bigger in the 80s.
And then they proceeded to the modern day.
Yeah.
So basically, bro bids on it, and then he goes up to the guy, and then they get
Oh.
really intimate for a second.
Yeah.
Bites lower lip.
I have this legendary quote. There's no I in team,
Dude.
but there's two in winning.
So Jason Momoa
That was
is
the
a
best
loser
line
character.
that auctioneer had.
Jason Momoa is a loser character who is known for his video game skills, but specifically
Was once known.
old beat 'em up like arcade games.
Yeah.
He's basically an egotistical loser now.
Yeah.
We have Child 1 and Child Sister, and then we have Black Lady with a Zoo.
Yeah, I actually completely
Black
forgot
Landlord
their
with the
names
zoo.
after the movie because, like, they felt very inconsequential to the plot, like,
I
at
think
all.
Child 1's name is Max.
I can't.
I
don't think
literally
even
just
wrote down
blocked
their
them out
names.
because they do nothing. It's literally, like, the movie kind of feels like it's just Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and then, like, the other fully animated creatures and characters.
It does feel like they're very tacked on, but like
Like the kid and the black lady are just kind of there.
well, there are two kids.
Yeah, the
the
kids.
kid
plural.
and his
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
That they moved to a town where the entire town works at a potato chip factory.
I have a note called Chevy Malibu moment, and I'm pretty sure I took that when Jason's car fucks up.
Yeah.
It like starts smoking.
Yeah, Jason Momoa's car breaks down to further illustrate that his life fucking sucks.
As
The
if
kid's
we
parents have
didn't have
died, and
enough.
apparently the sister is like she's an important like social media manager for the potato chip factory everyone in town works at. So she's actually like got a really ritzy, like well-paying position in that factory, I guess.
Yeah.
Which struck me as odd, but not as odd as what I'm going to call the fifth plot hole, which is
We're already at 5.
which is
6.
This would be 6.
This is 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. 5 was Dennis getting in the house.
Okay, sixth plot hole.
Write this down. Write this down.
Nobody.
Write it down.
No, I'm gonna start keeping a tally mark. Actually.
Okay.
All right,
There you go.
We're at 5.
we're at 5.
Yep.
No,
No,
we're at 6
6
We're
because
at
you're
6
describing
now.
6.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Plot hole number 6 is nobody acknowledges Minecraft things existing. There's a dog made of cube-shaped pixels.
And no one questions
And nobody
it.
notices, cares, or questions it. There is a cube that has been locked in a storage compartment for years, and it's just glowing. There's no way any LED battery would keep that up. Like it just glows with occult magic, and nobody gives a shit.
Meh. I keep spare plutonium in my storage unit all the time.
I'm just saying, if I was like desperately
storage
broke
unit.
and losing my business and
I didn't say anything.
found a mysterious glowing object while I was LARPing as a Storage Wars contestant, I would probably try to sell the mysteriously glowing occult object and end up in one of H.P. Lovecraft's short stories.
That makes sense. Well, okay. If Jason had found the letter right away, maybe it would make more sense that he'd hold on to it, but he doesn't. In fact, the stupid kid finds it.
He keeps it in the store. The stupid kid finds it while it's on display in Jason Momoa's failing game shop.
The paper's like on the bottom of it.
It's with the box. But like the thing is just glowing. Like you're not gonna check that out. You're not gonna try to figure out why the fuck it's glowing. Also,
That's also another note I put. Jason Momoa is not bright. It's just kind of a plot hole for his whole character. I mean, yeah, I get like
everyone
character not
else
being bright.
should acknowledge it. But why is the kid the only one who's like, wow, this is a weird glowing magic object?
because the kid's smart and he wants to literally make jetpacks at school, which, by the way, is a thing that happens. At the end of the movie, he actually makes one. Insane.
What do you mean at the end of the movie? Within the first 15 minutes of the movie, he just builds a jetpack in class, and it only doesn't work because some bullies snip a wire.
And then it destroys the giant potato chip mascot on top
I thought
of
he
the
just
factory.
fired off a rocket at the beginning.
No, it was
No.
a jetpack.
It was
It
a
was a
jetpack.
jetpack.
He put the class's anatomically correct skeleton in it as a test run to see if it would work,
right.
and it crashed into the potato chip.
Yeah, and then it knocked down the like giant metal mascot on
Oh.
top. Potato terrorism, the trash bag. What was the trash bag for? That's so ominous.
the trash bag?
I assume it has something to do with Jason Momoa,
Probably.
the garbage man.
Oh yeah, $26 to rent an Uncle Trash Man. The kid got in trouble for the jetpack, and he had to have somebody come get him. He didn't want his sister to come get him, so he called up the Trash Man, otherwise known as Jason Momoa, and offered like $26 for him to come pick him up. What's that look for?
Trevor, that was a really awkward silence. You primed like you were gonna say something.
No, I was just
We were
rizzing you
waiting
up.
for you to say something.
Okay,
Anyway.
so the guy is given $26 by the kid to pick him up because he's in detention because he launched a rocket and it destroyed him.
He literally committed potato terrorism, and he got the lame guy down the street to be his
He did
quote unquote
to the-
uncle.
He did to the potato thing what you want to do to Best Buys, Trevor.
Ain't that the fucking truth? Anyways, that's for a later time.
No.
That's for a later time. Look.
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
No!
It stays in!
No!
Yes! It was one.
He wants to take down the decorative lettering.
Yeah, it's wholesome.
Destroy
Keanu
the
Chungus.
mascot. It's not.
It's not awesome.
It is awesome if you don't have all the context. Maybe if they listen to our Black Friday episode, they'll understand.
So, basically, the kid is the only one smart enough to figure out that the obviously glowing magic cube is obviously glowing in magic. They go back to the mine via the instruction manual, which refer to plot hole number 3. Steve couldn't have had time to write because Dennis was carrying
Escaping
it.
prison.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, actually, we have to roll that plot point back because he does stick that piece of paper in his mouth. He wrote it in advance.
How?
I don't know how. I guess there's still a plot point, but it's different now.
He didn't
because
have time to write it.
He had the time. How the fuck did he get the paper and the ink? Because he was in prison.
Ink sacks and quill from
the
his own
Nether.
inventory, bruh.
I like my paper inky, bruh.
He made a writable book. All right.
So he pre-wrote
Trevor, you know about those, right?
in anticipation of the Nether people, in anticipation of the Nether people making a spur of the moment decision, Steve 4D Chess pre-wrote the note.
Yeah.
That's still
With
a
time
plot
travel.
hole. That's still a plot hole.
Anyways,
The movie spawns the note in because it's convenient for the note to exist. It's a plot hole.
anyways, we go
They
back.
follow the instruction manual that Steve totally shouldn't have wrote, didn't have time to write, but needs to exist for the movie to justify
Bro
its own
should have not been able
existence.
to write that note, regardless.
Bro shouldn't have wrote that note because it tells them what to do with the cube. It says specifically never take the cube here.
Yeah, but they already.
And then they specifically take the cube there because if you...
Well, okay, to be fair, everyone else says it's a bad idea except for Jason, because Jason's an egotistical loser who's also broke. And he's like, dude, 5 doubloons! 5! Because it says on the back, also, I definitely don't have any valuables here. Or something like that. It's a really stupid, jokey way of putting it, but basically...
Which Steve omnisciently, through reading the script, knew to write.
Yeah. Anyways, Jason kind of forces everyone there. They put the funny cube in the funny box.
No. He doesn't force everyone there. Jason and the kid go there.
He forces the kid.
He forces the
Oh
kid.
my god!
He takes the miner to the
The
mine.
real miner were the
forces-
friends we made along the way.
He forces the miner to insert the cube into the box. And then the miner's sister
He's
shows
forcing
up.
miners to shove things in holes. Oh my god!
And then the kid's sister
In Minecraft.
and the black lady who
This
doesn't have a
movie's not
character
PG.
and
This
randomly
movie is
shows
not
up
PG.
because she has a mobile zoo.
Because fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball. She has a mobile zoo. She's the neighbor, I guess. Her and the
Lamar.
sister
No,
show
she's the
up.
landlord.
I thought she was the neighbor.
She's a landlord.
She's a landlord?
She's the landlord. She's the one that gives them the keys at the beginning.
Oh, damn. I like her less now.
What? She's just got on that Sigma grind set, you know?
Fuck them boomers.
Shit ain't affordable.
I'm sorry, if you're renting out a house in the suburbs to someone, as in like you own multiple homes and you're renting one out, and you
Yeah,
own
that is just
and
a
you
dickish
own a
move.
mobile zoo, it's just like you're bad with money. You're not broke.
You should kill yourself now.
Anyway, mobile zoo lady and the miner's sister follow Jason Momoa, and the miner Jason
Stop
Momoa was
saying
forcing
it. I'm gonna lose my mind.
your mind.
Minor this, minor that. Man,
What?
I don't even know.
Anyway, the miner, the mimosa,
I guess it's just a minor issue.
the miner, the mimosa,
Afflicted
the
steel.
miner's sister, and the zoo lady all go into the portal to the overworld. They're like, what the hell is this? We should leave.
Oh.
And then they fail at leaving because they get attacked by monsters.
They never make an
They-
effort to just go back. Jason goes up to the pink sheep and tries to communicate with it, and the black lady's like, actually, that's a sheep. And then Jason goes, quiet. We're speaking here.
It's weird because Jason
Silence, woman.
Jason Momoa looks around at the graphics and goes, I must be stuck in a video game. This sheep is an NPC that should give me a quest. Which,
Our
by the
first
way,
quest giver.
is something that's never corrected or acknowledged.
Nope.
I mean, are we going to acknowledge it?
I am!
Oh,
Like, the closest thing to explaining what Minecraft functionally is
Dude.
in this
Oh,
Minecraft
no.
movie
That's
it's a video game world, maybe.
That's also when the villager gets out, which, by the way, the
Yeah.
villager has a green shirt on, so that one's a nitwit. Which is very important to note because the principal lady, which is obviously the one that hooks up with the villager later, comments on how intelligent he is. Which is ironic because he's a nitwit, meaning he has no occupation.
That's funny.
That's like
That's
the
very
only clever
funny.
thing the whole movie does.
That's funny. That's very funny. Can
You
we
are
spoil? Sorry. Can we
Yep.
spoil the villager plot point as we continue? Like before we continue, just so we don't have to keep updating.
Yeah,
yeah, because it keeps every
wasn't
on
every
my
like
bingo
half
card.
an hour, it goes onto the adventures of fucking Dingleberry the villager.
yeah, they go on a date, and then the principal lusts over this fucking fat-nosed dude. Well, first, he goes into the overworld, he wanders to the street, looks at a few cars go by, and then like a fucking idiot, after seeing how fast they go, is like, and then walks across the road, and no fucking surprise gets absolutely bodied by a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is specified twice in the film.
Do you think?
It's
that
enunciated
Jeep-
too. Do you remember when they enunciated like Zillow
Yeah.
in the Sonic movie? It felt
Do you
like
think-
that.
Do you think that the Jeep was sponsored? In
Absolutely.
The movie?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't go like,
For
my,
sure.
oh no, I hit you with my Jeep Grand Cherokee trademark.
Do you think that this was just a show for how?
Spencer,
He's
yes?
lost his shit.
Do you think that this was just a promo for how they can fucking body people?
How effective Jeeps are at killing people.
Yeah.
You can keep that in.
Not very, because the villager fucking survives.
Yeah.
Oh
the
yes, it's
villager
a
survived.
safety feature.
Also, well, okay, that's a Jeep.
So the Jeep Jan.
Whoa.
The Jeep
is
Jan
dyslexic.
Cherokee.
Dyslexic head ass. Swinton feel.
I'll swint your feel.
No, Nether.
I'll feel your swint. Take that as
Nether.
you will.
Okay, basically, he gets hit, and he goes, "Argh!" And then the lady comes out and tries to cover up the incident for a second. And then she gets, like,
She gets
like,
the
love
hots
swept.
for this villager. And also, I'm going to point out how weird it is to see the two of them together.
It's absolutely otherworldly. Like, they go on the date, right? And she just yaps to him. And then he looks around in his hyper-realistic form, which, okay, like, most of the movie looked pretty okay with the hyper-realistic graphics, but, like, the villagers look terrible. The villager keeps going, and then raising his eyebrows, and it was just very uncomfortable every time that bit came up. And then at the end, that villager
Oh.
manages to speak perfect English, and apparently the principal lady knows how to speak villager, which goes...
Not only that, he had a British accent when he spoke English.
Oh my god.
Did you notice that?
The overworld is Britain. No!
What are you talking about? British people don't exist.
It's weird. I always pictured the villagers as like not having an accent, if that makes any sense.
Well, they aren't supposed to because they have their own dialect.
Well, I figured if they spoke, it would be like in text-to-speech monotone, you know?
Maybe.
That was always my interpretation of them, was that they weren't like quite all there. They were like simulacra of what a human could possibly be in Minecraft.
Like they have straight up different vocal cords, and they only could communicate through not even just a different language, but
For
like
only 4 emerald, I will give you 2 pieces of flint.
maybe something like that. I don't know.
I feel like
That feels
they
a
would
bit
be
gamey,
very,
though.
I feel like they would be more just. They would speak, but the thing is, they would be very nasally.
Oh, because the big old nose!
Yeah, they're big old schlong of a honker.
That big old wart on their face that takes up 10% of their body mass. And they have the audacity to call it a nose.
Do you think the principal shoved that honker?
Nope,
upper
nope,
clap
nope,
through?
nope,
no,
nope,
just
nope,
saying.
nope,
Nope.
nope, nope, nope,
Nope.
no.
That's
Nope.
the thing she was attracted
Nope.
by.
Anyway,
That's gotta be a thing, dude.
so
She's got the hots
this
for the
villager,
Awarded for her
gets-
pleasure.
basically, from the villager's point of
Oh,
view,
great heavens.
a giant portal opens up miles from the place he lives. He randomly walks through it, finds a place that looks completely different from every piece of reality he could conceive.
Do you think
Sees
that
a bunch
villager-
of fast minecart zooming by on asphalt, wanders out to said weird stone, gets absolutely pummeled, and then interacts with something called a female.
Well, okay. To be fair,
And then he interacted with a female.
to be fair, if I remember correctly, in game, if you hit a NPC with a minecart, it picks them up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was a Jeep Grand Cherokee, though. I don't think.
Okay, but
it
the thing
fucking
is, the
oofed him.
villager
He
never
made
knew.
Roblox death
He
sounds.
rolled like 20 feet out there. He went, "Argh!"
The villager doesn't know what a Jeep Grand
I'm
Cherokee
surprised that
is.
motherfucker wasn't mauled, dude. That looked like, I guarantee that was probably about 50 miles per hour. That was a country road with bends.
That villager is tanky ah hell. But, I mean, probably a Jeep Grand Cherokee does what, 5 hearts of damage? I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
And the villagers have at least, I think, 8
Yeah.
or 7.
They love crushing loaf.
They
They-
love
They love crushing
loaves.
loaf.
Yeah, simply put, woman literally abducts alien man. They go on a date. They have sex. They teach each other their own languages somehow. And then the ex comes in and makes his second appearance in the whole movie. I think he had a total screen time of like 2 minutes.
Oh, no. The ex.
The ex is the
ex
teacher.
is the gym teacher.
Yeah. Well, he's
So
also the
he-
art teacher.
Yeah. And also the science teacher.
Yeah. It's quite
Which,
a
if you
terrible
went to
school.
high school in a small town, you know that is, in fact, how that works.
Unfortunately
Oh.
so.
Financially, I'm living in a nightmare. Another one of the legendary phrases from the
Living in a financial
ex-gym
nightmare.
teacher,
See,
science
that's
teacher
No, that's
artist.
that's just everyone right now.
Yeah, that's another
We
quote.
all live in a financial
That's another
nightmare
quote
right
that
now.
really confused me because, like, the movies, it acts like it's in the fucking 80s. There are random teenagers who can afford to just rent a suburb. Like, and people
Rent
are
a
into
suburb?
arcade games.
Dude, imagine if we could run a suburb.
I know,
That'd be
right?
Crazy.
That'd be wild.
Industrial consequences.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh man. So yeah, Minecraft.
So, did the villager get Stockholm syndrome?
Maybe. I mean,
I'm glad things worked out for him.
It's just really wild, right? Because they went with the everything looks like it does in Minecraft aesthetic for everything.
but photorealistic.
Yeah, it's photorealistic, but everything is square.
That's one positive I do
Yeah.
have to give. It looks a lot better in film than it did in the original trailers. The trailers looked kind of terrible.
It still looked like ass. I didn't find there was not a single shot in that movie I liked.
I don't think I liked any of the animals, and the villagers were kind of ugly, but like the piglins were kind of cool.
No. I mean, I don't want
The
to.
zombies were pretty cool. I like the skeletons too.
I don't want to disagree with you because aesthetics are like
subjective,
but I will have to say, from a completely subjective aesthetic opinion, none of the movie felt anywhere near. There wasn't anything artistic about it. It just.
Oh, I feel you.
It felt like a copy of a copy of a copy. You know. It was like its own. Aesthetically, it was its own satire.
We're talking about aesthetics. Can we get over this point real quick? The zombies. They have Steve's clothing.
Yeah.
Steve is an alien.
I that out. Why did they have Steve's clothing?
Steve literally came from the human
Did
world.
the prospector have Steve's clothing?
No, he had a wife beater and like shitty torn trousers.
Why wasn't he in the?
So,
I don't know what they should.
there is a reason for why the zombies have Steve's clothes in game.
Well, yeah,
or,
in game.
In theory, but
in game theory.
What they say, man?
Actually, you're not far off. But anyway.
Does it relate to the movie though?
No.
Well then.
Well,
okay.
I mean, okay, the Illagers are in the movie.
Well, yes, but what? Okay.
But the Illagers don't look like Steve.
Yeah, the Illagers make sense.
So
but why did the zombies have Steve's clothing? Because Steve is an outlier. He's an alien.
Maybe Steve has a psychic link to the overworld, which is why he shapes his microwave dinners in cubes.
That's not how that works, dude.
According to the theory, which it is just a theory.
A game
theory. You couldn't stretch rubber that far, my guy.
The Illagers created zombies because they were trying to recreate the builders, which Steve is a descendant of one. And they tried making life with Lapis because apparently Lapis has like soul abilities and whatnot and magic
That's
stuff.
why it's used for enchanting.
Yeah. And they failed. Well, they succeeded and accidentally made zombies instead. Allegedly. But again, theory.
Yeah, but zombies existed long before Illagers were ever added.
Well, yes, but so did creepers, and we don't really have
I'm a creeper! Minecraft's Grim Reaper!
Creeper? Aw, man.
The most popular theory for creepers is that they are living moss that explodes when threatened. And that's how they spread their spores.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
It goes pretty hard.
So, back to the review. So, night falls on the overworld.
Villager sub-arc. Done. Over with. Wasn't on my bingo card. I hate that it was there.
That wasn't on mine either. So,
we didn't even get the sex scene.
The main...
No one wants that.
I don't want to see that. Anyway.
It's square-shaped. It would have to be square-shaped.
Talk about...
She learned how to put a square peg in a round hole.
That's right. It goes in the circle hole.
We can't leave that in.
Yes, we can.
We're gonna leave that in.
Oh, God damn it.
We're an explicit podcast for a reason.
Anyway, so night descends on the overworld, and zombies, skeletons, creepy beasties, and spiders come out.
Oh yeah. We get 6 spider jockeys at the same time.
Oh yeah, spider jockeys.
Literally one of the rarest mobs in the game.
Listen, the Minecraft movie doesn't even pretend that it has the same mechanics as Minecraft.
It's still something we can point out.
It is like a lottery shot that
Like,
that ever happens in
Like
game.
seriously, the very first sheep that they found was the pink sheep,
Yeah.
which is
Pink
like
sheep
a
is, like,
1
the
in like
rarest.
60 spawn or 1 in 600 spawn.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have pink
Bro,
sheep
they
all the
had
time.
dream luck.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, continuing. So, well,
I have pink sheep all the time in Minecraft.
Yeah, you dye them.
Yeah.
so, I have a note here of going back to the style or the block proportions were so horribly off the entirety of the movie.
They changed.
What do you mean?
Whenever a scene would end and the set would change, the size of the blocks would change in proportion to the characters. I noticed that when Steve was in front of Steve's lava chicken shack,
Tasty
Because-
as hell.
because the wood planks were slightly smaller than they were when the logs were used to construct the let's not die house.
Also, the
Well, I was-
diamond mine. The like stone blocks in the diamond mine were like scattered and in different sizes.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
the scale was off.
The other one that I was looking at primarily was like the grass blocks in the overworld when they were running around when it turned nightfall. I was noticing there were grass blocks that were like an eighth of what they would be versus full size, roughly 3 feet. I think they say is about the canon height of a standard block. Which, I mean, I get it. The characters and it has to look somewhat smoother than what you would find in Minecraft, but I don't like it because nothing is correct. Nothing is proportionally correct, and like you said, it always looked like they were changing sizes based on depending on what was needed. So next up, then you said we're in the emergency not going to die house.
Oh yeah. The mushroom building?
No.
Or
that's
no,
much
I'm
later.
sorry. That's too far in the movie.
ra-
The wooden tower that they go into.
The
And then
wood,
Steve shows up
dirt,
and goes,
and-
I am Steve.
Oh, by the way,
No.
there's a house that they build out of wood and dirt the first night they're in the Minecraft world trying to survive the monsters attacking them for the characters, right?
Yep.
However, there are two things I'd like to point out that are big issues with the movie, okay?
Well, the 4 characters don't build a dirt house.
The kid does.
The kid does. But the 4 characters are there. Jason Momoa is
Right.
just late because he's getting the cube.
Hmm.
So there are 2 big issues that immediately jumped out at me when I watched that scene. 2 really big issues, right? What?
We're already at 50 minutes, and we're barely like 20 minutes into the fucking movie.
It's okay. The movie will fucking wrap up fast, like nothing happened. There are 2 really big issues I had immediately.
What?
The black lady points out that the day-night cycle is about 8 minutes long.
It's not. It's 20
Well,
in game.
it doesn't.
Actually, it's 20 minutes.
I just said that.
It
Oh,
it doesn't
r
fucking-
slash whoosh.
it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. They can say the day and night cycle is as long as short as they want it to because they're introducing the mechanic. What I don't like about it is that it's not consistent. The first night they're there, it lasts about that long according to the characters. But then it's just generically daytime for about an hour of film, and we never deal with nighttime enemies again.
I mean,
One other
could
time.
say that
One other time they do.
One could say that it was like time skipping.
It was time skipping past multiple nights.
Maybe.
The only other time it ends up being night in the film is the one travel scene where the 2 ladies are like traversing through the woods and they beat up a zombie that sneaks up on them, and it's just one. Which, why the contrast to the first night they arrived? Like 1 zombie showing up, 6 spider jockeys, like a creeper, a bunch of like 50 zombies.
They have plot armor. They just have plot armor. It's my second biggest gripe. A second big gripe with exactly this.
You have a lot
intro
of
scene.
gripes.
I-
You have a whole
it's-
grapevine.
It's all gripe. Welcome to the gripe. We
It's-
could call this the gripe episode.
It's the grapevine.
Gripey. I like my vines gripey.
I like my grains vipey, bro.
That was dyslexic Kyle Spence.
Yeah, I know. As soon
You
as
sound
I
like a
said
vi-
it, I'm like,
sound like a villager right now, bro.
shit.
Anyway,
Anyway,
anyway, big problem. There are 3 times total where they build in the Minecraft movie.
yeah,
There are 3 times total
yeah,
they
Mhm.
build
3 times
in the Minecraft.
in the Minecraft movie.
That's inexcusable. That's awful. That's like
it's literally Minecraft.
That's like
Part
if
of
you
its
were
building.
making a Street Fighter movie and there were only
You-
2 action sequences.
Mhm.
Like, you missed the fucking point of the property you're trying to adapt, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you just want Jack Black in front of a bunch
I
of
mean,
shitty
they
CGI.
made- They went through a bunch of like Jack Black's builds, like through his land, his village, his mine.
Yeah, but like we were talking about it earlier, it's not super clear how much of that he built. And also, it's not like we saw that happen, right? Like, the coolest thing about
we
Minecraft
get to see like a
is
3-minute
you-
montage at the start, and
Yeah,
that's it.
it's you interacting with the world, right? Like, it's
Oh yeah, that's he mentions an entire like he builds a theme park in the introduction. We never see it,
yeah.
and we get
Yeah.
wide panning shots of like the landscape around them. Where the fuck is that place? It's taller than the mountain it's next to in the same shot.
It's about 100 blocks away, just like your Furnistopia.
Why the Sigma?
Anyway,
Furnistopia is better than that fucking garbage.
we also we only said this as a side note, but the "I am Steve" quote after Jack Black like butt slaps a couple of zombies, and then he just says, "I am Steve." The whole damn theater
creamed their fucking
creamed
pants.
their pants.
They went water bucket release, and then they nutted all over their popcorn.
like the only. Like there was only one other time that they were that crazy.
And it was chicken
And
jockey.
it was
Chicken
chicken,
jockey!
and we'll get into that when we get there. But no, that was again, as Trevor pointed out before, 29 individual claps of applause, screams, woos,
Goodness.
etc. And
You good?
I-
you need
I-
a second? I could take it from here, bro.
okay, go on with the lava chicken.
Okay. They get to the village. Random reference to Technoblade. I think it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
cool. He was
They-
like a pillar of the community.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I never watched Technoblade, so I didn't get the reference at first until I think Tommy pointed it out.
No.
No, Trevor,
I
you pointed it out.
Yeah, he was
My
like
bad.
a massive pillar of like
Well,
the Minecraft
I
community.
never watched Technoblade,
Yeah.
so I didn't understand it.
He died very unfortunately of cancer.
Mm.
He was like, I think, I don't remember his exact age, but he was maybe 21 at the oldest.
Nah.
So
But that was nice that they added that.
they put that in.
Yeah, I'm glad they put that in. I wish it was in a better movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
uh,
the reference feels a little too classy for as bad as the movie is, but it's cool
It's
that they acknowledged
appreciated.
it, you know?
Other than the lava chicken place, the village is kind of uninteresting.
I will say, I would like to point out yet another plot hole. And this one is a minor plot hole, but I'm putting it in
7.
anyway. We're at 7, because if Dennis
Yay.
not being able to open doors is a plot hole, then the chick's going on a side quest for the map, even though Steve knows exactly where they're going and how to get there and how to get back
and he gets there.
and gets back. Them just splitting up for no reason to get a map to a place that Steve has perfectly memorized.
I don't think they split up on purpose. They got separated during the attack on the village.
Yeah, but they were in the
went there.
same square
They
when they
were-
were fighting.
Yeah, they went to go find the map.
Like they were
They
literally
decided before the fight, hey, we should get a map. because
Oh yeah, then they talked to the one villager.
and while they were talking to it, they got attacked, and then
Yeah.
they couldn't regroup, so they just got the map while the villager was paddling a boat away from the attack,
Yeah.
and then just
But they
used
could
the
have
map.
just linked up with the guys.
Well, they could
Well-
have just not gone. Why did they need the map before the attack?
They didn't.
Like post attack, I get it. You need to have a map to know where they're going, but why? Why?
The
Why?
the issue for them not linking up afterwards
General Chungus.
is, like I said, because they got separated.
It's
One went after the map, and then the guys took elytras and like pissed off in a random
It's
direction.
Oh,
not
God.
about them.
We need to bring up the tater tot launcher.
We need to bring up the
Oh.
elytras and the tater tot launcher.
Okay, let's go back
But
to.
but before all that, the issue isn't that they didn't link up after the attack. The issue is that they split up originally to find a map. Why?
Well, okay, that kind of goes to like D&D logic. Like at first they weren't being attacked, so it makes
I
sense
feel
to
like
split the party
I'm missing
a little
bit of
to
the
get.
context here because I don't remember those parts super well. But the thing is, Steve already gets there, and yet, hold on.
Well, Steve
I'm
knows
thinking
how to
about the
get
order.
to the.
No, he straight up just knows how to get to the Woodland Mansion.
Yeah.
The only reason they don't get there before the ladies do is because they have to stop the mines because Jason Momoa is an asshole.
Yeah.
The ladies got
Otherwise-
the map that took them the faster route.
It wasn't the faster route.
Yes, it was. The mine was slower.
Well,
The only reason they went in the direction of the mine at all was because
Because
Jason Momoa was
like strong armed him to
Yeah.
get some diamonds.
But like seriously, why the fuck did they care to get the map? They didn't know that Jason Momoa was sidetracking them. They didn't know they'd get attacked. They just read ahead in the script and were like, "Huh, it'd be really convenient if we had a map after the attack. Let's ditch these boys and get a map." And it's like, why? It's a bit of a
Also-
plot hole. It doesn't make any. It's not a decision that makes any sense from any perspective. Why would they get a map to learn how to go to a place that the person they're with knows how to get to?
I don't know. Look, they got there. We'll leave it at that. Plot hole, right?
Next thing is
General Chungus?
The next thing is Steve's horde with
Diamond armor,
Ac-
full set.
Actually, okay. Several things.
He didn't put on the full armor set.
Several things.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Several things.
That's-
First, tater tot launcher. Not a real thing in Minecraft. It's dumb that he can build it with real world objects
Yeah.
on a crafting table. Second thing, elytra.
Breaks the game.
Elytra. The only way to get elytra
Is
is
by
to-
killing the Ender Dragon and then Ender pearling out into the outer cities.
which you can only do if you've gone to the Nether to get blaze rods.
Yeah.
Yes. Which implies
Steve went
Steve
to the
has
Nether.
gone to the Nether, come back, found a stronghold, found a portal.
which if he's capable
went
of navigating
through.
the Nether and then killing literally the Ender Dragon, why wouldn't he be able to handle Mogosha and her lackeys?
It's not even just that. It's like we're shown the first time Steve goes to the Nether. He explicitly states it's the first time he's gone to the Nether. So it's like he spawned them in from creative mode, I guess.
And
Brohead cheats
also,
on
that's
him.
actually
That's
a really
crazy.
good point because the very first time he went into the Nether, he got trapped there by Mongosha and her piglins, and only just escaped to find the crew from the real world. He would have never have had time to even go to the end, let alone defeat the Ender Dragon and get to the ancient cities.
That's right. There's no way he could have done it.
So he would have just flat out spawned him in via creative.
I guess you could make the argument that Steve was in creative mode until he opened the Nether portal. But that doesn't explain
That
how he
doesn't make
knows
any
how to fight the
sense.
zombies or why he'd mine. Except that
guess.
he's autistic and obsessed with mining in this movie, I guess.
I don't know. It doesn't
Uh,
make sense,
I
bro.
mean,
Okay.
Sigma.
Plot hole number 8. While they're going on
Elytras.
the, we're not gonna call that a plot hole. It's just
That's not a plot hole?
it's annoying for people who understand the game mechanics. But if you just acknowledge that the movie has completely ignored every game mechanic ever and just puts in references to the game as references to the game, it's not a plot hole because in this particular version of Minecraft, I guess you can just get Elytra somewhere in the overworld.
Apparently.
He can just
Coming in hot!
he just makes them out of nightmares.
He just does.
I mean, you can repair them from nightmare.
I think the gas chase scene was pretty cool.
Okay, that I
It
will
was
agree
kind of
with.
fire.
The gas.
Dude, and the man sandwich at the end.
Oh, God.
That made my water bucket release.
Okay,
Okay.
I want to put in plot hole number 8 before I forget about it.
Okay,
Continue.
I'm sorry.
But in the mine
I tried to
detour,
pull us forward.
while
Too
Jason Momoa is taking the mine detour, and all the like frickety fracks show up and blow up all the creepers in the mine, there's a huge pile of diamonds. That diamonds don't get blown up by any explosives in Minecraft.
Nope.
Nor do they in real life. Nor is there anything in the like movie that would illustrate that the diamonds should have been like lost, or that cave-ins are even possible, because that's not a mechanic we see in the movie, and that's not a mechanic that exists in Minecraft either. So like when they're like, oh man, since my mine got blown up, I don't have any resources. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? Just go back there. There was a giant pile of diamonds.
Now there's even more. It probably blew open some holes to find even more.
I would like to point out that we forgot something.
Hit me.
The Piglin General.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
General
his name's
Chungus. I
Chungus.
brought it up
General
earlier.
Chungus.
He's just a meme. I thought he was like kind of funny. But,
Also,
like,
when
very
they-
surface level funny.
When they threw that name out, there was like a scream and applause, and I
People lost their
just
minds.
put down this note. I said, "Please help. We're in the middle of a cult."
To be fair, I lost my mind because I didn't expect his name to be Chungus.
I-
It's not like I was like, yeah, buzzword. It was like, his name's fucking Chungus.
I will say Chungus officially stopped being funny with the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I mean,
It hasn't been funny for years.
yeah,
But it stopped being post-ironically funny
Big
after it got
Chungus.
acknowledged in the Minecraft movie.
That's
miss
because
him.
it got acknowledged, and this movie's been in purgatory writings for like the past 5 years.
It
So back when
reminds
they
me-
made it, it was kind of funny.
It reminds me of in the first Black Panther movie. There's a moment where
No condom forever, or whatever Black Panther said.
there's
Yeah, what he
there's a
said.
moment where he's putting on shoes, and one of the ladies is like, "What are those?"
And then the
it's like-
theater goes, ah, gah, 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 gah.
and it's like, ah, yes, exactly that moment is when that joke stopped being funny. I felt exactly the same way about Chungus.
Yeah. Oh, butt chuckets.
Honestly, I'm sad they killed him and just replaced him with a big ass, like,
Dude,
what was his name? The cursed one? The fat one?
I remember what his name was. His name was
That's not what Molgosha called him.
Malgosha called him.
Really. I don't remember her going. I do remember the guy going.
I
Did the
don't-
guy go?
Yeah, he went.
I don't have his name.
Anyways, big ass boy with a hand cannon that apparently vaporizes anything. He goes out. Fucking idiot gets blown up by creepers. Somehow he survives that and makes it out to the Woodland Mansion.
I mean, listen, it's a mob. I guess in this
But
movie
it's a
we're
specialty mob.
I guess in this movie we're supposed to think of the piglins as at least as smart as Jack Black. So it is kind of dumb that the guy wouldn't know to avoid blowing himself up. But to be fair, he didn't blow himself up, he survived. Which is more evidence that the mine was totally fine. Because if that guy can walk out of it, then you can probably recover.
Bro could have
anything
just
you
gone
need.
back and gotten diamonds.
Infinite diamonds.
I guarantee is not more durable than diamonds.
guarantee it.
Uh,
Speaking of actually, I'll get to that later.
Okay.
Hold on, we
We
still got a
skipped
few.
the
I still
butt
got.
chuckets.
I still got a few more
Oh,
notes
the
here.
buck chuckets.
The butt chuckets, which is just two
That's what
buckets
people do
on a
in
chain.
college. They shove a
No,
spout.
that's a
That's
butt
butt
chug.
chugging.
a spout in
Butt
their
chucket
ass.
is like nunchuck buckets.
And yeah, they shove a spout in their ass and they start pouring a liquor in there.
Then
Gets you drunk quicker.
anyway, so fast forwarding a bit back to the Elytra scene, Jack Black riding Momoa, and he says, and I quote, "Let my hips guide you."
Oh my god, dude!
Which,
The
that
man
was-
sandwich went so fucking hard in the gas chase
full
scene.
man sandwich.
So
Straight up, fucking, they were up in each other's dogs at the end. Like Jason's feet were in Steve's mouth, and then Steve's were in Jason's mouth. I mean, they weren't actually in their mouths, but
Let
they
me
were basically
squeeze you
there.
for your safety.
Like, I guarantee the stank was radiating right into their nostrils.
I just want to say, like, for the record, I know that you guys liked this scene. I know that the internet liked this scene. I know that most people who saw the movie say that
Jason
the
X Jack, man.
Elytra, Jason X Jack 69 scene was the best part of the movie.
No, it was chicken jockey.
I felt like that joke outstayed its welcome and was unfunny pretty much immediately. There's nothing about that scene that even got a brief chuckle from me.
It was great, man.
It was just more of the movie not taking itself seriously or doing anything mildly funny or clever with its own premise.
Look,
Oh,
Jack was the steel, and Jason was the flint, and together they made the fires of passion. Because they rubbed together.
Trevor, they screamed stupid PG-rated sex jokes in the air for 30 seconds, and then the scene was over.
But they were right up on each other, dude.
Oh my god.
so then
Can't keep making the same water bucket release.
then
joke.
they
It
get
gets-
on to the
it
actual
gets
water
dry
bucket release
after a while.
with the pandas, which
You're all wet.
fun fact, that's how babies are made, by pandas eating bamboo together. That's how babies are
Yeah,
made.
they just spawn there, bro.
Anyway, we get to the actual water bucket release part of the video versus
Water
just-
bucket release.
Oh, the Nether has talent, which is apparently a thing.
Mulgosha's backstory is lame, and also she's not only an incompetent villain, but her backstory doesn't support her or make her interesting at all.
It really reminds me of remember Phineas and Ferb's Across the Second Dimension?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
the Phineas and
re-
Ferb movie.
It reminds me of the actual evil Dr. Doofenshmirtz backstory. One day, I lost my train. Choo choo. That's your backstory? Yeah. I became a supervillain.
Dude, I was raised by ocelots. I was abandoned by my parents and had to be a lawn gnome.
My mother didn't even attend my birth.
Neither of my parents showed up to my birth.
I had to wear secondhand dresses.
Like, seriously, like, that's the best you could do for an evil backstory.
The thing is,
Is
that works.
You
that,
got laughed at for interpretive dancing.
that works in like Phineas and Ferb Across the Spider-Verse because like number one, an actually interesting villain with like every reason to be a villain is right next to him. And number two, those kinds of jokes just land much, much better when the story you're trying to tell is suited for that kind of joke, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's something about Phineas and Ferb writing, even if some of the jokes and cutaway gags are comparable, that works much better than everything that happened in the Minecraft movie. And it's just because it's like, it's not taking a beloved property and just sort of putting shitty jokes on top of it, hoping it makes $1 billion. It's like, this is something someone created and actually cares about. There's a kind of like earnestness that comes from that, you know?
Yeah.
Also, the Phineas and Ferb jokes are actually funny.
Funny.
Yeah. But, let's see. Gotta get back into the notes here.
Here.
Oh, Villager Riz.
Let me finish on this. Mulgosha. How did she just come to power? Like, she was just spiteful because no one liked her dance moves on Never
and
Got
she
Talent.
became a powerful sorceress.
How?
She has infinite knives, and she just killed her competition. She
okay.
kept saying, I
Alright.
have a secret I need to tell you, and stabbing them.
That is pretty funny to think about, but like that implies
Oh.
all the other piglins are completely fucking incompetent.
I mean,
Like,
they
such
kind
a
of are.
comical
You
villain.
have to.
I
You
get
have
it.
to.
They are
real
piglins. But
Look at what the movie presented them as.
I know
They were all that incompetent.
Also, I have the name
know,
of
it's
the
just-
the
Ugh.
ultimate weapon.
Frustrating.
It was
What?
literally just called the Great Hog.
The Great Hog, dude. That's what they used to call me.
When you were playing Overwatch.
Yeah.
That's what I call
Back when
my
Roadhog was playable.
truck.
The
Anyway,
Great Hog, more like the Great Log, am I right?
Yeah, that's me after coffee in the morning.
so by this
Indigestion,
time,
am I right, guys?
by this time, the Dude Squad gets to the Woodland Mansion,
Yeah.
and Momoa and Steve have to create a diversion
And
so
they
that
play. I got a
Ma-
brand new saxophone.
I have the note as birthday suit sack shroom head Steve and Momoa.
Wow, that's a title.
They wore mushrooms on their heads, played saxophones, which I don't know how they got those.
Absolutely
And-
no idea, but it was a good distraction.
Wait,
It
were
was-
they real saxophones or were they Minecraft saxophones?
They were Minecraft
Were they?
saxophones.
Were they?
I don't
Were they
know.
animated like Minecraft
Yes.
I feel-
saxophones?
Were
Yes.
they?
I
Were
don't.
they?
Yes, they were
I
like
s-
blocky.
Were they?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I was writing this down.
Okay.
But
I like
At
the
least
idea.
I'm like 90%.
I like the idea that Jason Momoa just brought 2 saxophones.
Now I got a brand new saxophone.
It's in his inventory. But to get the kid up to the treasure room, where he finally finds the outer like casing for the MacGuffin Tesseract, and
Yeah,
then he
they're
goes on the
Minecraft
acid
shaped.
trip with the
Okay.
Enderman.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the best image I can get, unfortunately, but you can at least see like the mouthpieces.
Let me see.
Yeah.
blocky.
They are in fact
Oh.
Minecraft saxophones.
Yeah.
Steve
Also,
is very red in there.
the special effects in this movie were just kind of ass. Like, Spence and I both spotted that while the crew was in the mushroom house, there was just shaving cream on the walls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they ate through the rest of the budget earlier.
any effect that was even a little practical was just such ass.
Yeah, they just gave up and did the most basic thing they could.
Instead of just like maybe painting white circles on the wall, no, they just took like little dollops of shaving cream and just glued them to the walls of inside the mushroom house.
You know what's sad?
Hmm.
I know for a fact that wasn't even what they did. What they did was, because they recorded the whole movie in a green screen, the way they record
Mhm.
most of these movies,
Yeah.
right? Like, maybe parts of the town were real, but basically everything else was a green screen. Everything that happened in the Minecraft movie was a green screen, right?
It
Yeah.
had to be.
So, what happened was the mushroom scene must have been added during one of its rewrites or reshoots. And because they were stretched on time, what they did was they took the green screen and they added dollops of shaving cream to the green screen so it would be faster to CG animate the mushroom background.
Hmm.
Because there
Yep.
wasn't a red mushroom
It's
house
corners
set.
to cut, man.
There wasn't a red mushroom house set. They didn't build a mushroom house
Obviously
set.
not. That would cost money.
So they shaving creamed the wall, the green screen wallpaper.
So
I honestly hated the mushroom house scene and everything about it. Can we go back to the Woodland Mansion?
yeah, we're gonna go back to the Woodland Mansion. So back to the acid trip with the Enderman.
Yeah. Okay, the Enderman went down like a bitch. I'm sorry. The fucking
Yeah.
Max, like the fucking 10-year-old with a diamond axe. Also, he saw a fucking enchanted diamond sword and he was like, nah, I'll keep the axe.
It's because he's a creator, not a fighter.
Yeah.
What he is a fucking moron.
Anyway,
No,
this is-
he's smart. He built a jetpack, remember?
Yeah, but he
And
looks,
a potato tot launcher.
bro really looked at a tool used for cutting down lumber and an actual like full-on weapon and was like, you know what? I'm playing on Java. Axes do crits on jumps, I guess.
So this whole him in the treasure room is intersected by the legendary scene itself.
The best scene in the whole fucking
Jason
movie.
Momoa
Chicken
and
Jockey.
Steve are put into basically a Fight Club-esque ring with all the illagers around the outside, and a fucking chicken jockey is thrown into the center. And,
That baby was way too fucking durable.
Yeah.
The thing should have died on the second hit.
And of course, you gotta have the legendary chicken jockey.
I will
oh
say,
Oh my god.
I will say,
that
it is really, really, really fucking stupid on every possible storytelling angle that they built up the Enderman as this menacing foe.
And then Max goes up to it and goes,
And
just
Max
absolutely obliterates
he
it.
manages to hit it a few times and kill it.
Mhm.
But in the same scene, simultaneously, a grown-ass man who specializes in fighting games is
He's
losing
getting
a
bodied by
1v1
baby.
to a baby riding a chicken.
Yeah. And has
The
to
Endermen
have
do like some of the highest contact damage in the game. Also,
Yeah.
like bro wasn't even like
wearing
jumping
armor.
away. He was just going to him and going, just whacking on him relentlessly.
Well, it doesn't.
Max should have been murdered.
It doesn't even matter. It's like, I get it. It's a Minecraft movie, but the movie doesn't have to follow the Minecraft mechanics, right? It just needs to kind of.
Obviously.
It just needs to use its setting appropriately, or just at all, I guess. So, like, it's fine to take some liberties with the source material, right? Like, no one would complain if it was a great movie, had awesome cinematography, the scenes were great, everybody loved every aspect of it, but, like, maybe a zombie took one too many hits or something like that.
Mhm.
No one would complain about it because it doesn't need to mechanically represent what happens in the game. It just needs to kind of illustrate the feeling to be a good movie, right?
Yeah.
It fails at illustrating the feeling because Jason Momoa is losing a fight to a chicken jockey, and then there's this giant menacing force that an actual child is beating up in the same
Quite
scene.
the juxtaposition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just chicken jockey.
Momoa is eventually saved.
I feel like the
by
Enderman should have been replaced by a creeper.
Steve's sneak attack, which is literally just like a
Bro basically just
piss missile.
Yeah, and then the baby ends up in the hallway. Bro doesn't even die. He just goes in the hallway and goes, wah!
You
Is that
been over-
child abuse?
no.
No, because I took the note for child abuse when the piglin got stabbed by Moldosha.
No, I'm not asking if
No,
it's
no,
your
no.
child abuse note. Like, ethically speaking, is beating up an undead child abuse, or does it stop qualifying?
I think it stops
being a
qualifying
child when
because
it's
it's
undead.
actively an aggressive force that's trying to kill you.
No. It's still child
Uh,
abuse if the kid is being violent, right? Because, like, it's understood that kids are, like, not a big enough threat for them to qualify for,
It's a
like,
corpse, though.
self-defense. Right. Does it qualify as
No.
child abuse? Okay. So
It's
So,
a corpse. That's the
corpses-
main
around-
defining
so
event.
corpses lose right.
Yes.
So from an
Yeah.
ethical standpoint, why
All right,
is
here we go.
necrophilia not okay?
That's fair. Tommy, would you care to elaborate on that?
We're not gonna elaborate on that. We're still doing a movie review.
Uh,
Well,
We'll talk about it in the next one.
No.
Any-
No. I don't want to talk about
No. Blue balls, Micah. Blue balls.
anyway, this was about the time where Trevor leaned over during the chicken jockey fight, and because
What?
Momoa
Did I
got
say
like
something
he
to you?
fell over or he had his ass up in the air, and you just said Jason's got a fatty.
They probably gave him like a very revealing shot. I'm just saying. I'm sure the whole rest of the theater was looking at his fatty too.
He got a fatty.
He got a fatty apparently.
He did.
Anyway, so after the fight and the mushroom house scene, which looked like ass, they
And not the Jason Momoa kind.
they
No.
they had the quote unquote great darkening because they lost the cube.
Oh. I found this out. I watched like a few reviews of the movie. There's an early test screen footage that got leaked a long time ago.
Yeah.
And apparently they ADR'd in the line about "I wish Garbage Man was here" so that the film acknowledged for a few seconds that Jason Momoa's character died. That wasn't part of the original script.
What?
Huh.
Jason Momoa's character dies in the gas
Quote, unquote.
scene. In the gas
No,
scene.
the creeper bridge scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Woodland Mansion where like the gas show up and Mulgo's
Yeah.
just like,
And
And
she
then-
steals the cube, which is where
yeah,
we're
she
about
steals
at.
the cube, and then Jason creates a distraction while the guys get away.
And
TNT blows up the bridge. Bunch of piglins die along with supposedly him, but he gets away on a gas.
Right. Apparently, in the original script of the movie just kept trailing on its weird, like, ADHD, TikTok-brained pacing trip, and just never acknowledged Jason Momoa's character was dead.
Yeah.
So in test screenings, the audience were really, like, confused, like, where's Jason Momoa? What happened to him? I don't understand why he stopped. So they added that line. I wish Garbage Man was here to enjoy this.
10 minutes earlier.
They ADR'd that line in. Like, if you look, the camera is in such a way that it is ignoring the person who's talking's lips, and they added it post script.
See. Next up.
Just use a bit of context. I don't know.
The-
Bro literally exploded.
the title phrase. First we mine, then we craft for the big battle.
That was just for the funny. It wasn't
Yeah,
even. That was
they
so
lit-
shallow. It was not even an attempt at developing any meaningful conversation or dialogue.
Didn't we
in the
make a
slightest.
joke about that back when we first saw the trailer?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Trevor actually made a joke that the post credits scene is literally just gonna be someone who looks like Jack Black going, "Hero Brian. I like that name."
Yeah.
I really wish we would have gotten that scene. It would have been fucking.
No, we
hilarious.
got that scene, but with Alex. What's your name? Oh, I'm Alex. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, but I don't. It's not Hero Brian.
No one has cared about Alex since they added her to the game. Like, Steve has a huge fan base. People
Yeah.
love Minecraft Steve.
It's
People love Hero Brian.
It's just for
Alex-
there to be like a female option.
Yeah, Alex got added because they wanted to have a female character skin option.
There's no like real lore behind it.
No one has given a shit about Alex since she got added to the game. Like,
But
it's cool that she's
Hero
there, I
Brian.
guess. Alternate skins have always existed.
Let's entertain the alternative, or perhaps even the future,
Right.
soon to come. Does Hero Brian look exactly like Steve? Like Jack Black Steve?
Oh my god. Is Minecraft 2 going to
Oh,
be
it's
like
gonna be-
Sonic 3?
It's gonna be like Sonic
where
3
Jack
where they shoot
Black
Jim
is...
Carrey twice, but it's Jack Black, and just one of him
Oh,
has white
no.
glowing eyes.
I have a
That'd be
feeling
hilarious.
that's exactly what it's gonna
That's
be.
exactly what it's gonna be.
Can we get a scene of them like coddling each other and dancing around each other
With
in an
how
elegant way?
popular the 69 Jason Momoa Jack Black Elytra scene is, there's definitely going to be a scene where Jack Black has to get real comfortable with Jack
Hero
Black
Bride.
with white eyes.
Oh, so the major like showdown between the piglins and the
The final
people
battle.
with they make a shit ton of golems, and then they make like a uber fast golem.
Where the hell did they get all the iron again?
They mind it.
They mined it
Because
so
first
they
they
could craft
mine, then they craft.
Oh yeah,
it. But
that scene went by very quickly. It was kind of hard.
And
to
then
keep up with.
The last half of the movie kind of.
I would still just like to point out the fast and flying golem. Like what
the one with the boots of haste.
what?
They stole those from Terraria. That's not even a Minecraft item.
No, that's like a modded item, bro.
Like
I mean, like the golem was kind of cool.
I mean, yeah,
But
sure, it was cool, but
It's just not a Minecraft.
it kind of
thing.
falls into the same thing as the potato launch or the potato tot launcher.
yeah, like
like,
I don't
it's
like that
nothing
those
I've
things
seen-
are in the movie, and they feel very against the spirit of Minecraft.
Who would win, Fast Golem or My Great Hog?
Apparently, the answer is the Great Hog, because the
And,
fast golem needed help.
Yeah.
For the showdown scene, they had Morgosha versus Steve, but
That
Steve.
was the worst fucking action scene
Okay.
ever.
Hold
Okay.
on, I would like to point out a few things before we go too much further.
Okay.
First things first. Steve had that whole mine and that whole room full of diamonds. He only had a breastplate, a hat, and boots. He didn't have pants. He was too broke to make a pair of pants. He didn't have a full set, even though he already
He
had a
literally
full
said,
set
"Diamond armor, full set."
in his storeroom.
It's very dumb, yeah. Also, the diamond armor broke
The
immediately.
diamond armor broke immediately. What the
Bro just didn't repair his stuff before he headed out.
He made it for that battle!
He must have been beaten up on a little. Maybe the chicken jockey came back or something and acted revenge, but instead of on Jason, it was Jack.
Oh, fuck. I actually have several plot holes I'd like to point out.
Okay.
Yep.
So on the bridge scene before Jason Momoa dies, Malgosha uses her staff to Mjolnir the cube orb tesseract to her staff, right? She could technically have done this at any time, including when Dennis was getting away. It was a super useful power that would have come in handy literally any time, and it would have invalidated all the events of the movie.
Yes.
Plot hole number 9. Plot hole number 10. The first time the piglins invade, they decide that they have a potion that, so long as they're aerating it or they drink it, they're fine in the overworld and they won't zombify.
Potions.
Netherwart potions.
Netherwart potion.
Mm-hmm.
I want to point out that they've always had this. They've always been able to have this, so they could technically always be conquering the overworld.
Also, another point to make, their fortresses are expansive. They're gigantic. We see like shots that show under bridges, and it just keeps going on and on and on. These nether fortresses are gigantic. You know what spawns in nether fortresses? Netherwart farms. How the fuck do they only have a couple potions ready? These fuckers are useless.
They don't. It doesn't need to follow the mechanics of Minecraft
Now,
exactly.
the thing is,
it's different on every turn. It is a plot hole that they have the potions and they don't use them. It's not a plot hole that the Nether Wart potions.
The only time that they
like,
had to
rare.
use the potions was when it was daytime. They could go out at night, hence why it was the Great Darkening. They cast out all the sun so that the piglins could roam free. They didn't use the potions because they figured they didn't need it because they had the sun.
Why didn't
blotted out.
Mulgosha have a fucking Netherwart potion, considering she's the big bad?
But why did
That's
they need
also a good point.
Why did
I
they
don't
need
know.
the cube at all if they couldn't just If they could just Netherwart
It's
potion.
only a temporary versus the cube that could have been a.
But we don't
solution.
see the temporary effects wear off. Like they fight, they literally completely sack that village. Fine. We don't even see any of them rot.
It says, "Hey, it's only a temporary potion. We only have a sip for everyone. Fucking a sip is enough for a 30-minute action sequence."
Okay, it
wasn't
wasn't
30,
30, it was
wasn't
like
30 minutes.
12.
Followed by reinforcements, and then God knows how long flying and pursuing them. Like,
Must have been some tiny ass sips. Those bottles were not very full.
they 100% had enough potion to at least kind of attack the overworld, and they're trying to get gold, so they could probably bring some ghasts and, like, I don't know, blow up a mine or whatever.
You know, why don't they just, I don't know, generate a portal that goes into a cave? And then just, like, set up a base in there?
Okay, they're piglins, and we've seen in the
Malgosha-
movie they're not very bright.
Malgosha is smart enough to do basically everything else, though.
Yeah.
Like, without
Sure, maybe the general piglin, like, your average
without the
piglin's
without
completely stupid.
Malgosha, I don't think the piglins could even go to the overworld.
Yeah, but they have Mulgosha.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Now that she's gone, they're going to be basically back to being
Maybe now,
dumb,
but,
stupid.
you know, for the plot of the movie,
Yes.
they could have just gotten in a cave, had a base in the overworld, and then just come out of there.
That would have been kind of cool to see. Like
They have like a Bowser fortress or
they
something.
went into a like side of a mountain or something and made like a Nether fortress-esque fortress inside the mountain. Kind of looked like Moria from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you mean it would have been cool to see them craft something in the Minecraft
and
movie?
build something. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But no, I'm just going to point to that as a plot hole.
Okay.
Malgosha could have 100% conquered the overworld without the cube. They didn't need it.
Fair.
And she could have gotten it several times up until that point.
Fair.
Completely incompetent and terrible villain in
So-
every fathomable way.
It's so random, too. Like, I don't get it. Minecraft is a man versus nature game. Why do they have, like, this shit-ass villain?
Because it's Minecraft and they're trying to appeal to younger audiences, I guess.
It's the best-selling game ever because of younger audiences. They get it.
I know, but They're not trying
Chicken jockey.
They're not trying to sell it like some sort of deep philosophical experience. It's like they're just trying to appease the ADHD TikTok brain rot type of mentality, you know?
I can't think of a movie that I've hated more since like Rise of Skywalker came out in theaters.
Yeah. So, do you have any more plot points, at least for this part?
I'm at 10 so far.
See, moving on to
I think we're pretty much
Momoa comes to the rescue and then jab it in the tentacles.
Oh yeah. Gas torture is okay apparently.
You have a knife, don't you? No.
Pokey stick.
I got something to tell you about your future. You specifically.
I don't understand that.
They did that joke 3 times.
Yeah, like if the joke isn't funny, doing it a second time can sometimes save the joke. But I've never heard of just let's repeat the same unfunny joke 3 times in a row for like 3 minutes of screen time unbroken.
Now, okay, maybe not something like that, but redoing a not funny joke where it actually has made it funny. Have you ever seen the movie Master of Disguise?
I haven't, no.
Trevor, have you seen Master of Disguise?
No.
I played the
Oh
Wario
my
Master of
God.
Disguise game on the Nintendo
You guys are
DS.
so uncultured.
It's not my fault that you have
Anyway.
fucking unk status, you goddamn fossil.
All right, so in the movie, there is a villain, and his
no
thing,
reaction.
Not
his
all
thing
of us
is
were
he's trying
around
to
for
steal priceless
the
artifacts.
invention of television.
He's trying to steal priceless artifacts, and he uses the dad of the main character, who is known as like a master of disguise, to steal these artifacts. And and he's going through his like evil plan, and he starts laughing. He'll just do he'll just keep going, and then all of a sudden he'll just go just stop talking for like 30 seconds and just kind of look away. He does this like 4 or 5 times throughout the movie, and at first it wasn't funny, but it actually made it funny as it kept going throughout the movie. So I mean, there are examples of where a joke is not funny at first, but the more times that they have done it, it has made it funny. This
don't
is not
know.
one of those cases.
I'm gonna point to that, and I'm gonna be like, okay, that makes sense because it's like a spoof film, right? Like that film isn't designed to be taken seriously,
No.
right? Like, do you remember Spaceballs?
Dude,
Yeah.
I remember Spaceballs. That
No.
was a fucking awesome
do I
spoof
remember
film.
Spaceballs?
Dude, you were around when space was invented.
My brother,
Yes.
you were around when the first ball became a sphere. Um,
I was there and I coined the term.
So you're him,
I am
Mr.
him,
Ball.
Mr. Ball.
roundness.
You are John Ball.
The concept of roundness came about. Anyway, fuck, what was I at? Spaceballs.
Yep.
This
So
dude's talking about balls. What the
the villain in Spaceballs is
Dark
like,
helmet.
yeah, he's a stupid villain. He's incompetent, ah hell.
Dark helmet.
And I could totally see him like dying on the floor and being like, "Come here, I have something to tell you,
And then you're like,
specifically you." And then having a running gag where he's trying to kill Sky Solo Man. I don't remember what his name was.
Mr. Hero.
What was the protagonist in Spaceballs? It was something Solo. Was it
Lone Star.
Lone Star. God damn it, that's a good one.
And Barf.
I could totally see him doing some shit like that to Lone Star. But the thing is,
We've been jammed.
the reason that kind of joke is funny in a movie like Spaceballs is because we've seen that story take itself very seriously.
Mhm.
And we've seen like good storytelling from that perspective.
It's trying to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense in the context of the film because that's the overall tone it has.
I
And
would've-
making fun of a movie we've all seen before is something that can be genuinely interesting, right? But like, we've never seen an earnest Minecraft film, so it feels really weird to see this like post-hyper-ironic TikTok version of a film that's never existed, you know?
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's very much a parody of the idea of what a story can be. Like, it feels like It feels like someone played is it Mad Libs?
Yes, it
Mad
is.
Libs. Where
Yeah, it feels like someone had like a paragraph of text, right?
And they were given like preset inserts into sentences.
And they randomly added things. So they were like, and Jason Momoa gets in a fight with a chicken jockey and gets his ass
Chicken
kicked.
jockey is the
But
randomly
Max
chosen word.
upstairs is in a fight with a Enderman and wins. It's like they are just picking random things to happen. It doesn't feel like it's an actual story that anyone cares about.
It's just kind of
Or that
reference
it
after reference.
or that
after
it
reference.
adheres to the Minecraft world as a whole.
It doesn't respect the Minecraft world. That's a point I want to bring up at the end, but I think the actual
we're just
like
about at the end,
Pretty much.
minus like 2 things.
The people who wrote this film actively thought playing Minecraft is a waste of time. Which facts, but also also like it's shitty as fuck because like the Minecraft world is just a world that actually exists, right? And they're like, "Hey Steve, it'd be real great if you could share some of that creative magic in the real world and be mildly successful in the real world rather than having fun in your magical paradise. By the way, we're taking the dog in the divorce." It's
No,
like,
he sent the dog with him.
yeah, but it's dumb.
I get you. All right, never mind.
She's taking the dog in the divorce, and
She
it's
took-
dumb.
She took everything in the divorce.
It's just like it's very antithetical to the point of Minecraft, which is like a creative outlet that you can do anything in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave it for
And then
the
they
mundane real
do
world.
almost nothing creative.
And then they leave it for the mundane world, and the message of the story is get out of the overworld and go do creative things in the real world. Like,
Oh my god, the movie is telling gamers to touch grass. This is epic.
the movie says children crave the mines and gamers need to touch grass.
Gamers yearn for
They're-
miners.
There, well, if Minecraft YouTubers are anything to go by,
Oh! Dude, reference.
Dude, you didn't
Never
need
mind.
to spit facts like
This
that.
is the best movie ever.
No, it's not. It never has
No.
been. It never will be.
No.
so
You can delete the idea of cinema from the universe and then show this movie to someone,
Absolute cinema.
and they would still say that was shit. I've only experienced cave paintings up until this point, but that was shit.
Hey, that was the truth for this guy right here.
No, he's seen every film.
Well, yeah, but he saw
He was
the
around
first one.
during the transition between movies and talkies,
I've-
all right?
I've actually seen the very first movie. It was
I know.
It was literally just a train pulling into a station, and people would legitimately get up out of their seats and run away because they thought the train was coming towards them.
What was it like? Did you keep
Did
up
you
with
get
the
scared
people in the
too?
theater, or did you like?
No, I was
keep your
laughing
seat?
at them.
Oh wow.
I thought you would get scared too, because, you know, I mean, you were
I
there.
knew what they were.
To be fair, you were there when the train was invented and when
Yeah.
the minerals
I was the one
that
who invented
made
the
up
train.
the train.
You invented the train? I thought that was Johnny Train.
I was John
You
Train.
have a lot of last
that was
names,
my
Spence.
nickname.
A man of many talents.
Okay, in the next episode, we're gonna learn about Spence's true name. All 136 million last names he has.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Anyway.
so kind of wrap things up because we already went over the post-credit. Well, no, the post-credit scene we talked about because that's when Steve meets Alex.
There's a climactic fight we kind of talked about, but it doesn't really matter if you've seen anything. You know what it rips off the end of Star Wars: A New Hope.
What? Huh? How?
climactic
A
fight
New
scene.
Hope.
We just talked
A
about
New
it,
Hope
broski.
ends with the
Death Star blowing up.
no, with the throne room, with the medals.
Bro, what are you talking about? What fight scene?
I thought A New Hope was the Death Star blowing up.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
That it blows up.
It
but
rips off
it's not
the end. Okay, it rips off the
Sorry.
climactic end scene of the
Okay.
of A New Hope. Not
So they, Well, okay, yeah.
It's like there's a
I mean, to be
kind of
fair,
character who like
There's more than one episode or one movie that has one person blow up the magical MacGuffin that makes a huge
Can
explosion.
we roll this back just a bit? What the fuck are you talking about?
okay, you know how at the end of the first ever Star Wars movie, Luke Skywalker is flying down the thing and it's use the Force, Luke.
Oh,
and it's-
absolutely. I know
He's
what you're talking about.
you-
He's talking
you
about
know-
Max destroying the cube.
You know how
Oh.
you know how he's about to get got by his dad and Han Solo shows
Or
up
wait.
out of nowhere and he's like, boo, 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 let's blow this popsicle stand, kids, so we can go home. And it's like, Han, you came back. And then he locks in and he blows the Death Star up. It's exactly that. It's shot for shot that.
The kid didn't destroy the cube, didn't he?
No, because they need the cube to
they
get
just
home.
pulled out the cube.
Yeah, he just
Okay.
got the cube.
So the kid just gets the cube, and the Great Darkening ends, and all the piglins turn into zombies.
Okay,
or
I thought you were
moss.
talking about a separate conflict, not the part
No,
in
no.
between Mulgosha, because we had already talked about Mulgosha trying to stab Steve, and that
Yeah.
happens after.
It does.
But we had also talked about the scene before
Okay.
between the Great Hog and the Flying Golem, and
To be fair,
All
we
that
have
junk.
jumped around so horribly during this.
we have. It's great.
Basically,
We're unstructured and
the,
chaotic.
the
and I love it.
last
exactly
quarter
how we
of the
are.
movie is unstructured and chaotic action sequences that
So really, we're on
vaguely
par
add
with
to
the
a
movie.
plot.
Yeah. So like, if anything, we're being fairly accurate.
Yeah. So
The
Uh,
Great Hog. I can't.
I kind of prefer.
There's the General Chungus and the Great Hog. Dude, Mulgosha was on to something, bro.
we are about way over our usual time here.
It's okay,
So
it's
what
basically
does
a
anybody
special.
have key takeaways from the movie and final thoughts?
Art is dead. We killed it, and this is us trying to dance on its grave harder.
This is the turning point that will lead to the renaissance of all of our like current modern art and the way we perceive fucking art in general. I don't know where I'm trying to get with this point. You know, this is the tipping point
Are you
for how
saying
people
that-
perceive like content.
Are you saying that they're going to move towards content like the
The,
Minecraft
the
movie?
point I'm making is it's gotten so bad it has to eventually loop around. Like how rock bottom exists at the bottom of Bikini Bottom.
Well,
I strongly disagree. This
I-
movie is about as bad as Morbius.
you
but-
think it's setting a
but the
precedent
issue
that
is,
other companies are
it's
going to want to
made
follow?
so much
It
money.
has. It's
It
a
is
meme,
literally
it's
the-
a meme that people shit on, just like Morbius.
Mhm.
But unlike Morbius,
It is-
people are so deprived of entertainment and meaning. They went up to see this slop in mass.
It's the highest grossing video
And
game
it's
adaptation
become
movie
stupidly
to date.
successful for it. Thanks, internet. You fucked it up as per usual.
I actually don't think it's exactly that. I think most people don't like the movie very much, even most kids, right? Like
That- that
I don't
doesn't
think that-
matter.
listen. I think it does. I think it matters a little bit because I think any movie that had Minecraft on it would have probably made this much money. I think it's just Minecraft is the most successful video game ever, all
Yes.
time,
Straight up
straight up.
on Skibbity.
I think
Past Tetris.
I think any movie that uses the Minecraft name, especially if it's the first movie to ever use the Minecraft name, would have made a lot of money. It doesn't matter what happened on it. So the addition of adding the memes made it a multi-billion-dollar film. But I don't think you can catch that lightning in a bottle again. And if this is the direction companies go, I think they're just going to bankrupt themselves harder trying to catch a very this is the best, the most successful video game ever. In addition to, there's just enough shitty meme magic in it that people showed up to it en masse to trash the theater. I don't think
Those poor employees.
I don't think
I
those
feel
exact,
so bad for those employees.
I don't think those exact two storm clouds will ever hit each other again to create this kind of whirlwind of shit that we're in. I think if other companies try to replicate this, they'll be woefully disappointed.
They will be, but the issue is that they will. The thing is, with how successful the Minecraft movie has been, will promote other will nudge other companies into
I
making
don't know, man.
adaptations like this, with the same stupid kind of meme complex of it. Kind of like it
But
feels
it won't
like
work, dude. I
it
have
won't
to stay
work,
optimistic
but the
about
thing-
this because like companies can only trudge along for so long.
Well,
Sure,
here-
this one worked out.
I'm not
but
saying
enough
that they're going to
don't
be
work out.
successful like this. What I'm saying is that they're going to make these versus making something else that could have been better,
Well, then
more
fine.
successful.
Let them bankrupt themselves and make garbage.
Well,
and
I know,
then
but the thing is,
eventually
it's
things will turn around.
they're
They
just
have
going to make garbage for the next like 2 years, trying to recapture this, as you put it, lightning in
And
a
fine,
bottle.
People will dog on the next one. Maybe they won't, and it'll just be a meme. But that's all it will ever be recognized as.
I know, but it just sucks because that's basically what the next 2 years are going to be, is movies trying to replicate this.
And
the end of
movies
the day.
take 2 years to make, so realistically, we're going to be dealing with this shit for a long time.
I mean,
That's the main point I'm trying to get at.
realistically, other than saying what we
they're
are
going
right
to
now,
try.
actively on the internet, what else can we do?
There's nothing we can do.
We have our opinions on this
Yeah,
funny
look-
little
You
application.
know what we can do? We cannot go to see it in theaters and not make them money.
Yeah, but then we don't get
That's
content.
fair, and then we can't talk about it, and then shit on it. You know, we could convince all 2 people currently listening to this.
I'm willing to bet there are at least 10 people
No,
listening.
we're going to get 2 people, but I don't know if people are
There
going to
2
make it to
people
the
listening.
2-hour mark
One of
that
them
we're
is
just
one
about
of us,
at.
and then the other is like either someone's relative or like a random dude from work.
Or hey, that guy from Finland. Hey guy, I'm talking to
Hey,
you.
guy.
His name might actually be
John
Guy.
Pogo Stick.
We appreciate your patronage.
Oh yeah, that's a Canadian
That-
accent. What,
that was-
what the fuck
hell
does
was
a
that?
Finnish accent
That's
sound
it.
like?
Water
I don't
bucket
know.
release.
Anyway,
Guys, do we have any
so,
closing thoughts?
Anything
Anything else, at least, other than Art
nothing
being
on the
dead and-
movie itself. Tommy, do you have anything for the movie?
I think I said basically everything that really bothered me about it, and I guess positives.
Oh, I do have to bring up the
That's certainly a face, man.
yeah. There really
Seems
isn't
like
much
you
of
just
positive.
wafted, like, I don't know. Hold on. I'm thinking.
Okay.
You just
What-
wafted Jason's dogs.
Listen, everybody.
You were Jack just going up on those things, you know? Like you were on that man sandwich and you were definitely smelling the mayo.
I've watched a lot of bad movies. I've seen a ton of terrible movies. I've watched a lot of soulless, awful cash grab, examples of film. If I had to say one positive thing about the Minecraft movie, I would say, at least, despite all the bad it did and how awful it was, the one positive takeaway I have for it is at least there was that one Technoblade thing. That was pretty
the
cool.
reference was cool.
That
Yeah.
the best part of the movie was haha, I recognized a thing reference, but
The best impact this movie's going to have is keeping kids quiet on their iPads.
It was that's all I have. My final thoughts.
this
it's
is
just
Spider-Man
it's a-
Elsa content on YouTube,
it's a
but a
movie-
movie.
Yeah.
it's a movie of mindless fun.
It's going to keep the kids
There's
quiet on the
nothing
iPad while their mommy and daddy
Interesting
shop.
or deep about it, but at the end of the day, it is action packed. Technically,
Action-packed
it's-
family fun.
it's bright and colorful, and it's got quippy shit in it. But none of it's appealing to us who might actually perceive it for more than its base value.
I
Yeah.
will say, I think calling it fun is stretching the definition of fun.
I'm trying here.
It's
dude.
one of those movies
We said we'd try and give some
can't
positive
watch
thoughts.
with
Fair.
a questioning attitude. It's literally one of those that you just have to shut off your brain to enjoy.
Look,
I hate that
that's-
as a concept.
Look, I'm just
I
saying,
know,
if
but
I had to
that is,
compare
like,
the
the
Minecraft
way.
movie to anything else in the real world, it makes me feel the same way that Best Buy makes me feel. And you know how I feel about Best Buy.
You want to take the label off of Best Buy.
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
dislike
I
Best
want to
Buy.
take the label off. Maybe the roof.
I hope Best Buy a very bad
Maybe the
sales
walls.
month.
Maybe everything.
Anyway,
The fuck is your guys' problem with Best Buy?
they're
Black
over.
Friday. Go back.
They're over.
Listen.
They're overinflated prices. Are ridiculous.
Reference.
Anyway, I do one more thing. Is there anything more we had to say on
Oh,
this?
dude, we need a shower after all this grime.
We have a shower thought.
Oh, we have a bathrobe?
Yeah,
And
we're in the
this
shower
is
right now. I'm naked.
This is
Water
not
bucket
a
release.
shower thought. This is a dad joke.
Okay.
Of course, it'd be a
'Kay.
dad joke.
So, did you hear that the CEO of IKEA was just elected Prime Minister of Sweden?
That's
No.
honestly amazing.
The first thing he's going to do is assemble his cabinet.
That's a solid one.
And with this, we're gonna dig down to bedrock and bury not only that shitty joke, but this movie.
Nobody's gonna hear that joke.
We
Someone's-
don't have to review any more teasers or trailers. We can finally
this
put
movie.
this disgusting, vile consumer garbage to rest.
You know, wait for Shrek 5.
Oh, I don't want to. I really don't want to.
Just wait.
I-
Chicken jockey!